you.
The
Ladies
one who's
first.
normally in charge is not here. I can start us.
I don't mind.
Welcome to our project management meeting. We're a little light on staff today, but Jess, for your information, just real quick, I'm Matt Robertson, the city engineer.
And I'm Sarah Wicker, city planning.
And then we have Jack back here, the city recorder, and Cynthia with planning. So, you want to just, I know we saw your drawing, but you wanted to just give us a quick rundown of what you're planning on doing here?
Yeah, so it was recommended that I bring it to this meeting so I could talk to you a little bit about some of the things we're looking to do. The primary thing that I'm looking for approval or some guidance on is the shop. The pool I think is pretty standard. We're actually have ordered the kit stuff in the pool already, so I think it's really just 10 feet away from the property line is what I've been told. Plus, there is a retaining wall. It's under 48 inches, so I don't know. I am going to have it engineered, but I don't know that it has to be. I've been told under 48 inches doesn't need to be engineered. So the pool's pretty straightforward. The shop, however, there's a couple of things that I'm working with there. One, there is a utility easement back there, but I've gotten waivers from Rocky Mountain Power, Dominion, Comcast, and CenturyLink on that utility easement. So I'm just wondering first if there's anything else I need to do in order to build on that easement.
So I believe you have to come in and get that easement vacated.
Yes.
And I think that's done by ordinance, but if you have all those utility letters, it shouldn't be an issue.
Okay.
Let me just pull up,
You had to do it.
sorry, I'm just gonna look, I'm pretty positive there's no, so is it on your, kind of west property line, is that where it is?
Yeah, so the west fence there's a 10-foot easement right there.
Okay. I doubt the city has anything there, but I'm just pulling up our utility maps.
Okay.
So if you have those letters from the utility providers, then I believe the process, and you guys, someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you just need to get on, I think it needs to be vacated by ordinance, and that's approved by the city council.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Does that sound right, Jack?
Yeah, you're correct.
Okay. Let me zoom in where you're at.
Could he get on this agenda for 18th?
Yeah, I don't see anything from the city that, yeah, we don't have anything there. So
Okay.
I don't think, if there's no utilities there, I don't think we'll have any problem with that.
So we need application by the 26th.
Yeah.
Matt, we would
Yeah.
need application by the 26th to be on the September 9th agenda.
Okay, so they'll need, I don't know if you heard that, they'll need an application from you by August 26th to be able to be on the next city council meeting, which is September what?
9th.
September 9th.
Okay.
Do we have a
Now is
form?
that
Do we have a form for that
online or?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, go to the city website, and there should be a form or an application online for that.
Yeah.
And if you
We
got any
can send them
questions
the
or
link.
problems when you do that, I think you just call into the city, they can help you out.
Can you send Jess the link?
Okay. So that was kind of my first question. The second one is the size of it. So it's 30 by 70, and then it's the back 20 feet is going to be a double decker, so it'll be 10-foot ceilings on both the bottom level and the top level. So we're trying to accommodate pool equipment and then also a bathroom, so we have one that's not inside of our home. And then the upstairs will be a loft area that we'll just put the kids up there for hanging out with their friends and stuff. But as far as I can see, as long as is there a required green space that I have to have? Is there? I think I have enough still with what I've got, but.
Yeah, so you're limited. The only thing I can see is you can't have more than, was it 25% coverage? Are we RE15 zone right here?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so, and I think you're fine there as far as the size. 20, you can't be higher than 25 feet, so, with your roof. So that would be something to consider. The tough thing is the setback. How far is the shop from your side yard
For the
set?
property line?
Yeah, so right now I think it's drawn at 3 feet. We talked about the 5, I think is the requirement.
I think it's 10.
There's several in our neighborhood that just did 3 feet, but they were, because they weren't by structures. So I wanted some clarification on that. Plus, I'm willing to do 5/8 inch sheetrock, if that means fire break to go to the 3 feet.
It does say 10, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out, just because the code does say, because you're in the side yard, not behind the house, it says 10, so that might be something we have to look for a variance on.
That is in the backyard. It's behind the home. So if you look, my home faces east, and the shop will be on the west fence.
Oh, the front is to,
To the east.
oh,
Yes.
okay. Wait, this is east.
East is right.
Oh, okay, so it is north is up, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that helps. I was thinking
It's
that
right here.
that was,
There's the home, and the shop will be back here.
okay, that helps. And then we can go to the,
5, is it 5?
well, here it says 1 foot. Let me
But
see.
it's not a metal roof.
I've heard 1 foot if it's shingled, 3 feet if it's metal roof, and 5 feet if there's structures within, I don't know what the distance. Like in my neighbor's house, then it has to be 5 feet from the property line, but I'm not sure how, their house is quite a ways away from the property line.
Tyler's notation said 5 feet.
And I'm trying to figure out where he
Got that.
got that, because I'm looking at the accessory,
Building development standards. Yeah. So
well, where am I? Maybe I'm in development standards. Let's see.
what type of? Is it just gonna be a shingled roof?
Yeah, well, I haven't decided that yet. I kind of wanted to do a metal roof, but where I want to be is at 3 feet. So if that means I gotta do shingle, then I'll do shingle. But if I can do metal at 3 feet, then I may do metal.
Well, from what I'm reading,
Yeah, 3 feet with metal.
3 feet with a metal roof is allowed.
Okay?
So maybe we need to double check with Tyler, with our building official.
Yeah, I'm
but-
not sure where you got 5 feet, because the code I'm reading says 3 feet, and then your overhang can't be closer than 6 inches to the property line.
Yeah. And I did send this to Tyler about a month ago, but I haven't heard anything back from him yet on it.
Yeah, he was unable to make it this morning, but he gave us a few comments, and he was talking about 5 foot, but I'm not sure where that, that may be, I don't know. We're just looking at 11.09.03, which is the accessory building development standards.
Yeah. And that was all my only, I think, from what I've heard, is the 5 feet comes into play when, depending on where the neighbor's structures are.
And maybe that's a
I don't know.
building, and maybe that's a building code thing that he's
It might be,
referencing.
but I don't know
Okay.
why it would conflict with the land use, so.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, do you want, we can follow up with Tyler and get you a response on that.
Okay, and like I said, if it means, if I can go 3 feet, if my neighbor's house does sit on the, I don't know, it's towards the front of the shop.
Yeah.
But if I need to do 5/8 sheetrock to do the fire break to get 3 feet, I'm fine with that. That's what we have a shop in Ogden City, and that's what they had us do, was the fire break at 5/8 sheetrock instead of the 1/2 inch. But So yeah, if I can just get clarification on those setbacks, 3 feet is what I'm looking for, if we can do that, so. And then, my last question, well, I had one was pretty simple. I think Cynthia may have mentioned when I came in last month that to do the curb and gutter there, to cut the curb and gutter, is that something I need to address here, or is that pretty standard
We can,
for the approach?
I think we do have a standard, but I think it does allow more than one
I think
cut,
you can have
so
two. You can
we'll
have,
review that.
yeah, I think you can have two, but you will have to get a cut permit or excavation permit from the city,
Okay,
because that is in their right of way.
okay,
But and I believe it has to be at least 5 feet from the property line.
okay. Okay. And then the last question I had was just the utilities. So one of the ones wanted to put a bathroom in there, the sewer, there's about a 48-inch drop from the back of my third car garage to where that shop will sit. So in order to tie a sewer, I would need to put a pump in and pump it up to the sewer. Is it possible to pay impact fees and tie in right there where the approach is going to be cut out?
I don't believe so. I think,
I can see why you want to, but I don't think you're allowed to have two sewer laterals to the same lot. Where you?
Yeah, sewer and storm drain were the two that I was concerned about, just needing to pump up to the house versus just tying in there. But is there any, I mean, I was thinking the only way to probably even be able to do that, the lot's big enough that I guess I could subdivide it, but that doesn't make sense. But
Well, let me do a little digging on that too, and see if there's any way to allow that. Like, because like you say, if you pay, I don't know. We'd have to see if you could pay the impact fee and connection fee, and then figure out a way with Bonavista to be charged, two different sewer fees. Because like our sewer fee, of course, comes on your Bonavista bill that's listed on there.
yeah,
I'll look into that as well.
okay. Like I said, the two I'm most concerned about is sewer and storm drain, but probably more sewer than anything.
Storm drain, are you proposing to send any
Well-
runoff like out into the street or any changes on storm drain?
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I'd be looking at, and maybe it just goes to the gutter, and that's not a problem, but just putting in some like French drains around the shop. We do, being the lower part of the yard, we do retain a little bit of water there. Right now, we have a trampoline in that southwest corner,
Yeah.
and on the heavy rain years, it'll fill all the way to the top, the hole will.
That's-
So I'm just trying to, especially with the pool, I don't want those walls having groundwater pressure, so I'm just looking to divert water away from the pool and the shop. Groundwater.
Yeah. Good question. Because we don't have, I think there's a land drain, it looks like, just to the west of you. There's an 8
Okay.
inch, there's an 8-inch line that ties into our storm drain. It's kind of in the middle of your neighbor's lot, just to the west of you. That'd be the closest place to tie into a system. We prefer that. I mean, we don't love having to dig up the road, but we prefer that over pumping it, into the back of the curb and gutter and letting it go down.
Yeah.
We don't want that.
So you do allow land drains?
If there's a land drain system, yeah. We have a few land drain systems in the city. I'm not sure why this on our maps it says private, but that doesn't make sense. That's gonna be a land drain. Well, I think we have your contact info, right? So I can send you some of these utility maps
Okay.
so you can see where that land drain is.
That sounds good.
Because yeah, I mean it's probably 100 feet away, maybe 80 feet away.
Okay.
Matt, Tyler responded about the setbacks.
Oh, okay.
He said he could do the 3 feet with the metal roof will work as long as he does the 1 hour firewall on the interior and exterior wall
Okay.
if within the 5 feet of the property line. kind of
Okay.
thing.
Did you hear that, Jess?
A little bit, but
So-
I didn't catch all that.
Okay.
So
So
he has to add it to the plans and then
okay.
Tyler will re-review it.
So we heard back from Tyler. He said you could do the 3 foot away from the property line with the metal roof if you make that the fire rated that wall that you mentioned,
Okay.
Interior and exterior.
interior and exterior.
Add it to the plans.
And then update your plans that you submit to Tyler with that.
Okay. Exterior wise, is that just I guess the material? Because I was looking at that, like the hardy board, I guess the cement board siding, it should be fire. I would think it would be fireproof, but is that all they're referring to?
I'm not a building guy. I would think so, but just give it Tyler.
Just depend on the
Okay.
rating, it might be a different rating that's required.
Right.
Okay.
And he said
Okay.
1 hour was what the rating needed to be.
1 hour?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Is there anything else I should be considering, I guess, with this layout? I don't know if it's, I think it kind of shows all the detail of what we're looking to do. There will be some gas lines, electrical, all ran to the shop, fire pit and heater and some things like that. Anything else I need to be looking into?
Or 2 accessory buildings.
Yeah.
What's that
So
other?
so that's actually one of the reasons I'm doing this. So one of the things, I met with Tyler about a year ago. That other accessory building was supposed to just be a shed. He, because of that 10-foot behind, has to be behind the house, come down the side yard thing. We've decided to not build that. We're actually, at Tyler's recommendation, he said, well, why don't you just move your RV pad to where that shed is and put the shed where the RV pad is? And I said, well, if I'm gonna do that, I'm just gonna double my 3rd car. And that's actually what we're working with an architect to do remodel the house as well. So we're gonna double the 3rd car and add on to the back of the house. But the addition off the back will cover about the cement patio area that you see on the drawing. So, green space wise, it won't change anything. It'll just cover that cement area where the fire pit stuff is. But that's probably gonna be a different project. I think we're gonna do the pool in the shop through the end of this year and into spring, and then probably next fall, the next spring, we'll work on building the house.
Okay.
But
Well, that answers. I just have to look at the code to see on the 2 or the only one.
so yeah, that second accessory building's a no-go.
Okay, good to know.
Well, have you let's see, you need to do, are you asking for another water service as well? Or are you connecting, are you talking to Bonavista? Vista? I don't think they'll allow these, but.
I don't know. You kind of cut out there, but from Bona Vista for water.
Yeah. Are you?
Yeah. What do you recommend there? I guess.
Well, I mean, for your, or were you just gonna tie out to your service from your house and run it back to your shop and pool house?
Yeah, with the electrical, I'm gonna have to upgrade my service on my electrical. I'm about maxed out where I'm at, so I'm gonna, with both the electrical and water, probably just tie into the surface of the house. Unless we're tying into the road and that's all doable and I can, but it sounds like that complicates things quite a bit.
I think so, but, okay.
That's probably gonna be the biggest hurdle trying to get something like that approved. That's not typically allowed.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, those sewer pumps don't sound fun. That's the one I'm worried about, is if that goes out, then there's a whole,
Yeah, right.
that's just, so.
They're getting better if that helps. They're using them more,
Well,
so.
that's one of those services I'm willing to pay for someone to come in and fix rather than me. So if we have to do that, then that's fine, but I just wanted to explore what the options were there.
Okay, I'll
Yeah.
follow up on the sewer and the land drain questions for you.
Okay. All right. And then, yeah, with the height, I'm not, 25 feet should be plenty. I'm planning on doing like a 312 pitch on the roofs, I think.
So you should
Highway.
have room.
So, and then I'll do that submission for the utility easement to the city. I'll try and work on that as soon as I get back home. But you said by the 26th, right? That's been.
Right.
Okay. All right. Anything else I should be looking at here?
Not that I can think of. Think of anything else, Sarah?
No, I think that covers it.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate your time and all the information, and I'll work on this side of things that I need to. But I just wanted you guys to be aware of the project and make sure it would fall within the scope that we could do it. So.
Thank you.
Okay, sounds good. Well, thanks for joining us.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
What was that address? What's his address?
1393 North, 150 East. Are you thinking the same thing? You want to go ahead
Recording
and
in
hang out when
progress.
he's done?
That's all we have.
Looking for a party of life.
Because
Yeah,
Downstate's
exactly.
not picking up for some reason. We'll do what we can, right?
Yes, that's fun.
All right. Jake, you guys want to come up?
Brings back some memories somehow.
Yeah. I haven't decided if they're good or bad.
They're good.
Okay, sure. Yeah, I was telling Sarah, I'm like, it's been a while. I know that you met with Sarah a lot.
We just spoke on the phone.
Yeah.
So.
So I guess, Jake, you want to jump into what you're
Yeah.
looking for?
Yeah, so speaking with Sarah, we've been going over a few options here, and we've also spoken with with Jenny, as well as what some of the options are in the commercial part of this. She referred us to the development agreement, which we know about, obviously, but what we've been thinking is that we've been advertising this commercial piece from the beginning. We've put a sign out there in the front, hoping we get some, and we have gotten some interest there on the commercial, but it's been more of dance studios, the cabinet shop, things we haven't been really thrilled about to go in this particular piece. What we'd like to see is more of a restaurant. Culver's, we keep joking with Sarah about that. We've tried reaching out to a few people that way. seeing that the Ben Lomond project now has started, we've been more excited about more of the traffic that's going to start. It's going to begin with that once that's up and going. That being said, we're hoping for more time for this commercial piece. We say organically to happen, and getting a commercial piece more substantial for the city there, rather than just shoving something in there that isn't really much of a benefit to the city and that project. We're hoping for more time to get more stabilized there, for the surrounding areas to stabilize, to get something there more substantial. So that being said, we're here to look into an amendment of the development agreement. And I think bringing up some of those concerns. Sarah, was it you that brought up the parking lot, or was that Jenny that brought that up to me? I can't remember now.
That was me. Both.
Was that both of you?
We're going through. Parking was one of the issues. But yeah, there are a few things that I think would be important if we're putting things off. We want to make sure this is buttoned up for the residents as best we can, so that it's a usable property, or best usable for them. Yeah.
Right.
So that being said too as well, just to give you guys an update, I'm sure you guys have driven past the project. They're putting in the playgrounds now as we speak.
Okay. That was one of my questions.
Yes.
So, yes.
So that's being put in. They should have that done by Monday or Tuesday of next week, they're telling us. There's a 3-foot fence that goes along the front. They will have that finished by the end of next week. Other than that, the whole project, other than the commercial piece, has been complete. We could have that inspected by the city or Tyler. I don't know who does that.
Tyler would. Now, the fencing was something I was concerned about. Per code, there should be a privacy fence that extends the entire property to separate the residential from the mixed use. When do you see that piece going in?
We spoke with Jenny about this, and we've usually gone through some of these cities that require fencing, just like you said, Sarah, between the residential and the mixed use, or the higher density
part
stuff.
of the mixed use, yeah.
What happened in this particular development, it was kind of newer, the zoning for this particular piece. I think it was overlooked by both of us as far as the fencing going in, and it was never discussed. I don't think any of us thought of that. Now that we have some of the neighbors there bringing up some concern as far as the fence, we were going to go to the neighbors and ask if they would come in and engage with us on putting a fence in. Talking to Jenny, I think we're open to the idea of finding some resolution between the two of us, the city and ourselves, is putting in some type of fencing there. I think that was in kind of the discussion with this whole thing wrapped in a bow, I think, basically with how we're going about this.
Yeah, and I think the point too is it is a requirement of code, whether it was missed at the start or not, it's still a requirement. So if we missed it, if it didn't get put in on the plans, because I think that was missed, and like you said, it wasn't discussed, that doesn't change the fact that it is.
Was it back in the code that when it was approved though, Matt? That's what we were saying with Cynthia.
I would assume that when was the mixed use?
Because it was back, this is 3-4 years ago.
We can look into
But I mean,
that,
just
but-
walking. So I went through Copperwoods a couple weeks ago, and whether it needs to be in code or not, it's very obvious that would be a huge infringement on the residents to have that development right there in their backyard. So that would be very important moving forward, that 6-foot privacy fence was put at the top of that retaining wall.
And we completely agree, by the way,
those,
Sarah. I mean, we're not saying, hey, nothing.
And I don't see that should ever be the residents' burden, because they're not the ones profiting from the townhomes going out. And I can't see the city coming in to help financially with that, because that would be putting the burden on the taxpayers.
Sure.
So I do think we can look and split hairs on when the code was approved, but I just think that has to be done.
That's not what we're saying, sir. I think we're talking to Jenny. We don't want. We keep going back to you guys saying that you guys have been so awesome, and we wish other cities were like you guys. And you guys, Cynthia, Jenny, you guys have just been, since we've started this project, just have been amazing. So, talking with Jenny, we're completely in agreement with you guys. We're not saying we're pushing back on that.
Okay, good. Because that's just something I looked there and I was like, I felt really bad that that's happened to the residents there. So I would love to see the fence go in. Yeah.
We've had.
They do have a fence. Do they have a fence along the creek?
Along the creek, there's a fence. So
There
if we
is.
could just match the white vinyl fence and wrap it all up, that would that would be a lot of help. I know, what type of a time extension are you looking for the commercial? Have you talked about what you're going to request?
I think we discussed 2 years, whatever options
works
there.
for you. I mean, whatever you request. Longer is going to be harder to get everyone behind, obviously, but
What has Ben Lowman done, by the way? Maybe we kind of looking to see what they've, because it sounds like
how
they've been-
fast they'll be moving.
Well, what did they put, did they have an agreement set up with the city? Jenny mentioned that they amended.
Oh.
They amended the MDA.
Yeah.
I can't remember off the top of my
I
head.
wasn't a part of that MDA.
And 2 years maybe was brought up by Jenny because of that reason. I don't know, but
So, can I say a comment?
Sure.
So I'm his dad, I'm a
Yes,
partner.
I remember.
I contacted McDonald's to come there, and the problem was that when he was talking about, gosh, it doesn't make sense for us because we're splitting our business unless we get more people there. But he said, that's a great location, we'd love to go there. Culver's, I talked to you
Yeah,
a
he
little bit
talked to
about Culver's
Spencer.
and Logan, and he said, but that's what we would like to see there. And all of a sudden, we've got this guy down that says, hey, we'll come in, we'll take it right now, and come in partners with us in the commercial, but they want to put in stuff that really, I don't think Jenny or us, when we were discussing, would like to see there. And in a couple of years, all of a sudden now the numbers are there, we could have had this, and now we've used our commercial up where we could have had these. It's not that we're trying to get away from the commercial.
Right.
We're trying to be kind of a little bit more picky on what goes in there because of the location.
And I personally think 2 years is a reasonable request, and obviously I'll be making a recommendation. I just want to make sure that we figure out how to best present this to the council and what type of mitigating requirements we can put in to make sure that they understand that this isn't going to be a detriment, this is actually going to be beneficial. So if 2 years is what you think in talking to businesses is the best, then I think that's probably what you should request.
Sarah, I think we'll lean into what you think. It sounds like you have more expertise. I mean, we're wanting something, obviously Culver's, but something like that, right? And I think that our niche and our expertise is more behind the housing market.
Mhm.
The commercial, we're not necessarily experts in, and that's why I think we're both on board with saying, Sarah, what do you think would be a reasonable time with Ben Lowman coming online? I mean, if you say a year, we'll do whatever you guys think, but we want what the city wants ultimately. We want something, like I keep going and saying, more substantial. I mean, we could throw something in, that we have options to throw a commercial piece in there, but we're just not happy with what we're getting so far.
Okay.
So that's why we say we're willing to lean into whatever you guys recommend. If 2 years would give us the best option, I think that's what we want. If a year goes by and we find an option that, I mean, we'll even ask Jenny or you guys to say, hey, Sarah, what do you think about so-and-so? I think we're really open to discussing with you guys as well as what does the city want to see here? I think we're sensitive to that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I think one question they're going to have is, okay, if we extend it to 2 years and give you, occupancy on all of your residential, what's to say that you'll actually get it within 2 years, or stick to that timeline at all? Because at that point, I'm just saying, I know in the
This
committee,
is the council's
Right.
concerns.
that's
yes.
when the council and everything looked at that. They're like, well, we want to incentivize or motivate them to get commercial in there, and they're going to feel like if we give them all of their residential, they'll pack up and leave and not try and not care about the commercial at all.
Okay, so I can answer that.
Yeah.
The group that's coming in proposing to us to come in as a partnership, they want to be part owners of it, but they're willing to come up with all the financing to build out the commercial. What they're telling us to come in there is not what we kind of like, and so what we're saying is at the end of 2 years, that is still going to be available for it, and you guys say, okay, it's time. Let's build out the commercial. We'll go ahead, bring him in as a partner, we'll build it out and put in what he claims that he thinks he can put in there. We could do that right now. And for us, we're thinking, okay, we get what we want, we got the units, we don't really, the commercial is not in our thing, so we can say, let's just go with him and do it. But, as we sat and discuss it, is that what the city wants?
Sure, no, I get what you're saying. I'm just saying that at the end of that 2 years, if that partner's not even interested in anymore. What teeth is there in that agreement
For the
at that
city.
point for the city?
Or
to
what
look
can
at
we
it?
arrange? What is something that will
A
give the
guarantee.
city that guarantee to feel like,
Or help them
okay,
feel good about that.
we're
it's
giving
gonna
up the
happen.
occupancy, but how do we know? Because that's what they bring up a lot. That's why they hold up occupancy, which I
Sure.
don't particularly like because, you know, we want them occupied so we get the businesses.
Sure.
But they're
Well, I
nervous.
think
They're
that's what, you know,
nervous.
That's a fair
Yeah.
comment. Hey, again, do you know what Ben Lomond did with their development agreement, how they amended that? That might be something we could look as a
Well,
as a
but
template.
they've got so much more
Yeah,
development. They've got a lot of time on their hands, you know.
sure.
How soon will their first? They're going strong right now in all the infrastructure. But when do you think they will be half built out?
Half.
It's a big project.
Yeah, I mean they've got over more than half of their
Infrastructure in, right?
residential units. Like those phases are already in construction.
Okay, yeah.
So they'll start. I mean, they're going to start going vertical this fall.
So by next
On the
year,
first
we
phase.
probably have half of the units showing up.
That's what they hope.
That's what they'd hope. So in 2 years.
Which we
it
all
will be-
hope it never happens, generally, you know?
Sure.
Yeah.
We all think this is what's gonna happen, and it never.
But they're at least underway, which gives some hope.
What would you
so
guys
I'm not
like to
sure.
see us do to commit?
What?
What would you propose to us?
I mean, there's always escrows. I don't know legally how an arrangement like that would work. So that is the fear in figuring out how to do that. So so we can kind of put that. Let's think about that.
Sure.
What to do, but as far as what needs to happen to make sure that this development is polished and that the holding off the commercial doesn't make the development any less valuable from the residential side. We talked about a parking lot, and so something to think about is whatever parking space you put in needs to be functional and usable during construction of the commercial. So I would recommend putting in whatever you plan on doing. I would put in the full parking lot and just planning that will be parking for the commercial space as well, because it'll have to stay functional during the commercial construction. So if that corner you think is the best, then go for it. I like that it's close to the townhomes, what you've proposed location-wise. If you want to make it more narrow, or I guess from there you're just trying to avoid any building site. So that's that site to me. Matt, did you have any words?
No, I'm just wondering, could you extend that parking over to that other island? You wouldn't necessarily need to put in that island.
I was just thinking, well, part of that island on the east side, there is a drainage. There's there's a box right there. I think what I would do is shift that, and if there's an additional lot or two, I'd like to be centered in between that if I could. That island there, and maybe install that island, because I think it's part of.
Oh, I see.
the
Yeah,
future
shift you
build.
just between the islands so that can
Yes.
be permanent.
So I
yeah.
think what I'll do is build out the two of those the curb islands there, and shift that parking lot in between there. But I'd like to stay away from, like you guys just mentioned, away from that centralized spot of the commercial, whatever
Yeah.
potential can go there. Talking with some of these other partners, I mean, he's talking about two structures. I mean, we just don't want to be in the way of anything that could potentially go there, I guess. So I think that's where we would put it. It's closest to the townhomes. This is where we thought the most ideal spot would be.
I think so.
But I think talking to you guys, what we would do is centralize that, and part of the overall infrastructure, that curb there, I think there's a drainage box that we have to adapt around to make sure that there's a future use for that.
Yeah, if you could do the two planting areas with the curb, with
Yes.
the parking between, I think that would present really well.
Okay.
Yeah, just shifting this way.
Yeah.
Yeah, just from there to there. Yeah, I think that would present well.
And if that allows us another stall, great, but I think we're more or less 20 to 22 stalls is what we get out of that. And we'd be 40 stalls total, and I think it says on the plans we'd be about 2.5 stalls per unit.
Okay, and I think that.
You know, going back to the leverage,
Yeah.
what if we say, okay, the city gets to choose what goes in there? Instead of us saying, okay, this isn't meeting our standards, what if we say, okay, we keep you guys in the loop and say, every every time we get a proposal that wants to go in there, we come to the city or come to Jenny and say,
That is so generous, but I just don't think we don't have like an economic development team, and so if you brought it to us, I'd be happy to help or advise, but I think you guys, you'll know what's best. I appreciate that though.
I think it's some step over what the city relationship is with the developer too. What do you think as far as on that?
It would be a little tricky, yeah.
Okay.
And like if we found someone, if someone came to the city.
But at the same time, we could have this contract that he is proposing. I don't know if he would be willing to stretch that out for 2 years, but if the city saw that contract, this person is.
Oh, I see what you mean. If we could have a contract that would close in 2 years.
Yes, I think he's interested.
That's a viable idea.
He's interested in definitely. He's more than happy to work with us. We're subordinating the land. That's his interest in the land, and I think that's his benefit of improving this lot. So there's a huge benefit to this developer to come in and do that. If we could put together some type of contract with them, don't you think that would say, hey, this substantiates.
I think that's a great idea. I think it's a wonderful idea. And then if it comes to that time,
it would
and
fall
then,
into that contract, basically.
yeah, when it comes that time, then the city knows that in 2 years there's a contract for a commercial. What do you think about that, Matt?
That would be something, right?
I think that would be something. Yeah, I mean, we never know exactly.
Sorry,
what it
guys.
becomes
This
of.
is something we've never discussed. And it's just,
Not really us either, but no, I think that's a great idea. I think it's a really
Yeah.
great idea. If there's a contract in place so that they know that in 2 years commercial will be going in.
yeah.
and he might even find something that we like, you know, and because he wants to come in and develop and build it himself.
And give
he
him
may
more
come and
time.
Say, hey, guess what? I've got a good fast food here.
And his interest is just like ours. He'd like something that would generate, the most revenue.
Having another partner on board that's interested in
Yeah.
looking for a viable
So-
business would be great.
So I think his interest is exactly, it aligns with everybody here along with the city as well. So it's just food for thought,
Okay.
as far as that's
I
concerned.
think he just felt the pressure that we weren't going to get out of the city, and so he was just trying to hurry and put something
Yeah.
together.
Okay. Well, I think that would go a long ways. So I think making sure that the parking lot is available so we know the residents aren't going to be impacted. I think having some sort of a weed management plan or something to make sure that the lot doesn't, well, it'll be vacant but doesn't look bad during construction. What do you propose to keep that? I mean, we'll have the actual parking lot, but can we put something
Just keep it clean.
down, or just keeping the weeds?
Yes,
Or
I agree with you 100%. And I think in order to market that, we'd like it to look nice. We have a pile of paper on it. We'll use that for the parking lot. But we like to clean up the site,
Okay.
flatten things out. But I think keeping the maintenance on it overall will keep the project nice and clean. And I think overall the project will look nicer if we maintain that. And I think if there's something that you guys propose that we maintain that, we'd be completely on board
okay,
with
so
that.
something like that in the agreement, some sort of
Mhm.
maintenance for the lot,
Absolutely.
and then the parking. And the fence, I think, would be an important addition to making sure that they're
You know,
to extend
comment on that. I think
Yeah.
Jake and I were really willing to accommodate that, realizing it wasn't more than should have been in there. It's just how a couple of those neighbors reacted. They
Oh,
called,
were
but
they
they were
crazy?
talking
They
to us.
was really.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So when someone criticizes and tells you you're a loser, your feelings aren't very
Yeah,
common.
even to Jenny, and we're really, we like the city too much, I think. Is they were really honoring to Jenny, and we kind of figured that out. I mean, so we were kind of honoring back. And I think it got into that situation where, like, if you guys are going to treat us like that, then we're not going to really work with you guys. And so it kind of got into this match, and then Jenny called us and told us, well, we thought, Jenny, we'll work with you. Let's just get this resolved. So,
And I haven't been in that, which is good.
Yeah,
I just
it
looked
just-
at it and I was like, oh, I think we
So
need to
it's
do
not that
something.
we don't want to
no,
go, we will
there's,
do it.
There was contention, I
There's
get
some
it.
drama, and
Okay.
we just,
Yeah, I wasn't privy to all of that. I'm sorry you have to deal with that. That's never fun. Never fun with a project. Otherwise, to button up the project, I think there were some comments through Public Works, Matt.
Well, yeah, there's just some items that need to be addressed from.
It's on 2000.
Yes.
There's a patch, right?
So there are There's 2 patches that have settled on 2000 North. He was saying that the collars on the water valves out in 2000 and on the north side, and I don't know if the collars ever got installed on the sewer manholes either. So the collars on the water valves and the sewer manholes.
Is that within the project?
So the sewer manholes within the project, and then the valves out on I think on 2000. I
Nice.
can't remember if you have any on 2150
We did.
as well.
We did on 2150. I was just can't think of the guy that does your. Is it Greg? Who's your guy that used to be?
With Bonta Vista or with
No, is that who you're talking? Is that who he's saying that's Bonta Vista?
It's both. So you're talking about Glenn though.
Glenn.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been going back and forth with me on how to get those addressed.
Yeah.
And so it is on our. I was honestly hoping to get where we come up from Logan. I was hoping to get this parking lot in, and that way we could have something a bigger job for these guys to come up to do. To motivate
Yeah, there's
them.
just some of these
Little things that
outstanding
have to be
little
done.
items that we need to get addressed. I believe the money's still sitting in escrow. I don't think we've even done any escrow releases
Yeah.
for some of the work completed. That
Just-
you know, of, have we?
We've done any inspections for that now.
Right. So if you could,
How much is in there?
ideally,
Do you know? How
What's
much,
that?
How much is in escrow?
it's like 72,000 or something like that.
Yeah.
So, well, ideally, we want to get all of these items wrapped up and done, and we can give you your
Sure.
substantial completion and start, because we haven't even started your 1-year warranty on the public improvements.
Right.
There's not a ton of public improvements, but they're.
That'd be all
was,
part of this whole thing, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So there was those, there was some curb and gutter and sidewalk up on 2150 that got broken, I think, when we were doing like temporary access
And I
before you
think
had
that's the
access.
place. Although along 2150, and we can go up and verify that, even
Okay.
with Glenn. There's a lot of work that was done this spring, I believe, along 2150.
Okay, so he's just got a list of items on those
Yeah.
public improvements that need to be fixed. So we'd love to
Okay.
get that done
Sure.
sooner than later.
Were there questions about the detention basin?
Well, the question that Glenn had was that the detention basin, there's a small detention basin on that north side
We could build something
that
temporary.
hasn't been constructed yet, but that was primarily for the
Commercial
commercial
runoff.
piece.
Yeah.
So, I need to look at that, because I maybe I'll look at that with Glenn. I don't know if it makes sense to put in yet. I can't remember, it's been so long now, I can't remember if the runoff from the rest of the site, because it's routed over to the city's basin. I can't remember if it's supposed to back up into this pond first. I'll double check that. I need to look at how this was designed.
And just food for thought too. Some of the concepts we drew up, we did an underground. Is storm jack system?
Yeah.
We were looking at utilizing more parking. So if there's a way that we could
If
put that on
you-
the back burner, I guess, Matt, just to give us that option too.
Underground's acceptable if
Right.
if the elevations work out and if you're above the water
Sure.
table.
Yeah.
So you need to be 2 feet above the highest groundwater elevation with the bottom of your underground system.
Right.
So sometimes that gets tricky with your elevations.
Right.
But that's what you'd have to look into.
As we, yeah, okay.
And
But we're not against it.
Yeah. Well, it's like you guys said, parking seems like the biggest thing for both commercial and the residential side. So that would just give us that option, I guess. Is what I'm saying.
Right.
So I think as far as moving forward with an amendment to the MDA, I'll look at terms that kind of like what we've discussed, something about maintenance and including the parking lot, and a contract that closes in 2 years on the commercial, providing that. But I think also having your substantial completion, I
Sure.
think that'll be important. So making sure that everything is buttoned up so that they feel
Yeah.
confident moving forward
And also
and
that they-
extending that. So you'd want to have substantial completion done before requesting the amendment to the agreement. Any other thoughts, Matt?
No, I think we covered it pretty good. Yeah, we could put any pressure on you to get those that patch done and get Glenn happy. That'd be great.
Okay. Is there any way to correlate the two with the parking lot? Like you said, you wanted it done beforehand, but is there any way to kind of correlate the two if that does? I mean, if
Oh, do them at the same time?
yes,
Do
I
what
don't
part?
know.
The parking and
the parking structure and the patch.
Doing the parking and the patch at the same time.
Yeah, so
How
it's the same
soon can
company.
you get the parking?
I would call as soon as this gets approved. I'm making phone calls right away.
But that's the question
Wow.
is, we want to have substantial completion done before they
Yes,
get
that's
the
that.
improvement, the approval.
The approval of the NDA
Yeah.
or of the amended NDA.
It's got to be done regardless.
Yeah, but I
No
was gonna
question
say,
there.
It's got to be done. Yeah.
But
Probably
I'm
has to
just,
be done before. I don't know that they.
I was just hoping to correlate the two. Is all.
I mean, if,
Well,
yeah.
you got a substantial escrow, I think we'd like that back.
I'd say I didn't know we had 70,000. My eyes lit up when you said that. So
Well, I was looking at it yesterday. I'm like, I don't think we've done any releases unless you guys have requested.
No,
It
we
was
haven't.
set up. It was set up back in 2 or 3 years ago.
But that would pay for this parking structure. I mean, we were just talking on the way down here. Is how are we going to pay for that? That's our motivation.
Well,
right
that's the
there.
thing. If you finish up all these public improvements and these kind of punch list items, we can release that.
Sure.
We can release since we haven't done a substantial completion at the start of your 1 year warranty. We could if you were done with everything, we could release everything but the 10%, and then we just hold 10% of that for
Right.
a year.
Right.
So that's you get your $65,000 or so
Right.
unreleased.
I mean, if you feel confident enough that they'll approve the MDA amendment, then you can move forward with the parking lot and just put it in at the same time.
Sure.
It's just.
But
no, I know.
I
Yeah.
wish I'm not really in control of it.
Right.
But I feel comfortable recommending it for sure.
When would be what's the timing of the approval process of this? Is it September? Is what I understood is September.
September's the next council meeting, so we have to have everything submitted by the 26th, is that right? Is that the same?
What else would be needed to be submitted at this point with the?
So whatever text amendment that you want to the MDA, would need to be submitted.
Yeah.
So Jane,
As
we
an
have
exhibit.
November to get asphalt in. After November.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to.
Then
put this
that's when
timeline.
they cut off the plant, so
Oh, yeah.
we have till November.
Well, you guys might be sooner for this
Well,
city road there.
we follow APWA standards, so, which is a weather requirement. Like, generally, most plants really start shutting down after October 15th. You might have a little bit of leeway there while they stay open if the weather's good. But to be able to pay, you're gotta be 50 degrees,
Yeah.
50 and rising, so.
Do we ever put a timeline on any sort of agreement that says that it's kind of like a waiting period, like we approve it, and then there is a certain waiting period, and if certain items aren't completed, then it expires. Can we do terms like that so that we could approve it and he knows that it's approved, but the approval expires if the requirements aren't met?
It's probably a brilliant question.
Okay.
That sounds
Check with
great.
their
I mean, if there is
city
something.
attorney.
Then you can
along
move
those-
forward, know that it's happening,
Yes.
and then we'd have the
It's-
assurance that
But you're just saying if all of,
if the conditions aren't met, then it expires.
We have to go back through basically. And
They have to go back through their process and
Yeah.
reapply.
but if everything's ready, the soonest they can get any approval anyway is September.
Right.
So if everything's ready for the amended MDA, I don't think we need those.
Well, it's just because he doesn't want to put the parking lot in until after it's approved to make sure they're not putting in a parking lot and then putting in a parking lot.
But it could be approved in September, right?
But as a condition of approval, we'd want to have the substantial completion done. And they're hoping to do all the road work at one point.
Yeah, sure. Well, I don't know.
But that would be something that's what we'd want. We'd hope for something like that. If that would be something that would give us a certain window to get it completed or it expires, I think we'd love that if that's an option.
Okay, I'll call Marty about an expiration. Then it'd be easier to move forward in September.
Yes, yeah. I mean, it'd be nice just to have this whole thing wrapped
And
up with
I think more assurances for the approving body to make sure they know, okay, they have 30 days or what we do is void, so they know they're getting what they're getting.
I like
you
that.
know?
I like that.
I don't know about 30 days. I just threw that out there, but
No, I like it.
But-
it'd probably
Put
be
the pressure
closer to like 90 days or something like
But in a
that.
nutshell, sir, that's exactly what I'm asking. If there's something along those lines that protects you guys, gives us this certain amount of time of work, we start over again. I think that sounds great.
And that would, yeah, give them assurance. If, so I think from you guys, I'd work on a contract, the 2-year contract, something you could submit with the NDA with your developer, or partner, commercial partner. Something we could include with that amendment. And I think it might be best if I work on the amendment, the language. Is that okay? Okay,
Your
I'll work
city
on the
attorney-
language.
Your city attorney drew that up. I kept trying to see if we did that, or you guys, I think you guys drew that, or excuse me, the
The
development.
original,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
I'll work on the amendment. I don't think it's going to be very involved. We'll just make sure it includes all the terms that we think will help the city be okay with the extension.
That'd be great.
Okay. Okay. And yeah, and I'll talk to the attorney and see if he's okay with an expiration on it. And then, yeah, hopefully everyone is happy in the process. They're happier.
Yeah.
So can I give some parting words?
Sure.
You know, the moment we met you guys, we've been doing from Eagle Mountain all the way to northern Utah. You guys have been the most professional for a little city. And the 4 cities we're working with right now, they're sick and tired of hearing about Harrisville and how we gotta be doing stuff like Harrisville. I mean, how you guys come together, it's not, you're easy on developers, but you're organized. And you know what you want, and when we know what you want, the frustration we have as developers, we don't know what the city wants because they won't tell us. And that's the frustrating part for our job, but you guys are right there, and that's a compliment to the city.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah,
That's
you guys make
kind.
it.
Pass that on to our residents.
Just real quick, guys. So August 26th is the deadline to submit. So what do I need to submit for that, Sarah? Is that another application that I need to fill out for that?
There is an amendment application.
Amendment application, okay.
There is one on the city website for it. She likes to have the text that you want to have amended.
So on that, where you're
Yeah, I'll get
with
something
that.
ready in the
And then
next.
he's doing the contract, right?
And yeah, you'll have the contract that will
Yes.
go with that amendment.
Okay. And then if she has everything, then it'll be put on the September 9th. And I just want to let you know, if we don't make that date of the 26th, the next one is September 30th.
Okay, so yeah.
Okay,
Is it
and-
enough time, Sarah, to put something like that?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. So
This
I just want
contract
to
should
get
be
those out.
easy, so-
Okay, yeah, and I don't think the amendment should be too difficult either. It's
Okay.
just one part. So.
Yeah. And then we went with your attorneys through the MDA. Jenny worked with your attorneys through the MDA. We went through it, made it apply, if I remember correctly, and then we sent it to you, and you guys went back and forth with drafts for a while, and then we finally came up with a resolution
I think I
with
was
the
attorney.
committee.
Unfortunately, I don't know.
Because you had your committee that you
Yeah.
all worked through with the committee, and that's where all that
Yeah.
draft came through.
I
With
just
the
remember,
MDA.
I try to look through, but whatever we need to do though, we can have that reviewed and
Okay.
going back and forth. But I think the overall draft of it was with you guys, right? So you said-
Yeah, it was with the committee. We took one that we had existing, and then
There you
we
go.
cut and
Yeah.
paste what actually applied to your subdivision.
Right.
Because
Okay.
your subdivision was considerably smaller
Yeah.
than the one that we originally cut and
Okay,
pasted.
I'm gonna aim to have a draft to you by August 21st. So
Okay.
that's a week from today.
Okay. I'll just.
So then you can review the draft, yeah.
I'll just be in contact with you.
Okay.
If that works, then we'll just. So just those 2 things need to be submitted, and then we should be good. It sounds
With
like
the
that.
application, yeah?
I believe so, unless Jenny finds something else that we need to have with it.
Sure,
So,
sure.
and I don't know what she'll need for a site plan or anything like that to go on it.
See what
Well,
she.
So that way-
I'll ship that over. By then,
Oh,
too.
you'll-
Does that make
Just
sense?
that part.
Like,
Yeah.
if they want to actually, if the council will want to actually see, if you're including the parking lot, they'll actually want to see what percentage of the parking lot you're going to be doing and what you'll be doing with the rest of it, and they'll want to make sure they know all of that.
Would it be like this though, or less? Okay.
Yeah, this, and I think
More or
just
less.
showing that the islands, like if you just put like,
Will
are you
be-
putting trees in them?
I could.
If you just show like a tree in each one of those, if you're doing irrigation, will it have irrigation?
I could run some some type of irrigation to those.
So if those islands are finished and you show them finished, that'll look really nice.
Okay.
The original landscape plan, I think, did show.
I
some
think,
landscaping in there.
yeah, per the code, don't they have to have trees in them? So eventually you'd have to have trees, so it wouldn't hurt to put trees in there.
Yeah.
Well, and then because right now it's just a big dirt pile, they'll want to see if that's going to be graded. They'll want to be seeing what you're doing with the dirt pile, things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just label on their site will be cleaned and like maintained.
Yeah,
That's all
right,
related to
yeah.
the labeling. Okay.
Yeah. They'll probably ask you how you plan on maintaining it, but that's just normal questions that they ask. So,
Yeah, I was just looking at my computer tab and I was looking
Oh,
for
shoot.
the screening. So the screening thing, like the mixed use ordinance that was, I think, in place before this. On screening, it just says that you'll follow the
code.
municipal code as far as screening goes. When you go into screening requirements in the municipal code, it talks about screening between commercial and manufacturing zones and residential. So I mean, I think where this is mixed use with commercial and residential, I think the intent of that, when it says follow the screening requirements of municipal code, would be to follow.
I think we're not going to argue with you.
But
I
it
think-
should have been, right,
Yeah.
what was, like you, to your point, we just should have had that on the site plan from the beginning.
That's what I'm used to is what I was
You
trying to
should
say.
notice that,
We
yeah.
should have done, yeah, it
Usually,
was missed.
usually on the site, you have it labeled as
Yeah.
fencing, screening. That's what I'm used to, and I think we just both overlooked it. That's all I was saying. But talking like to Jenny, like I said, I think we're on board.
Okay,
That'd
So
be
there's
awesome.
no.
sounds good.
And I think just the white vinyl fence that matches the existing fence meets the screening requirement. If there's any, I think that would probably be
Yeah.
the best,
Yeah.
unless you have a different
Unless you want to put in some
expensive, fancy something
No,
in there.
and we put in that vinyl fence. So we just continue that. From there.
Oh, okay, so you did that one, yeah.
Yeah.
Continuing there, I think would look great.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I
See
think
what we can
we're
figure
good.
out.
Got some work to do.
Cool.
Okay.
Appreciate it,
Yeah,
guys.
thanks.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
Check.